Good evening. So, yes, Buddhism and mindfulness. Buddhism was originally started, if you will, about 2.5 millennia ago, when Gautama Buddha figured a few things out for himself and decided to share those. Since then, there has been a whole number of schools that have developed, but we're not going to go into that today. Buddhism is based on the Four Noble Truths. And basically, it's about suffering, our suffering in life, what the cause is of that suffering, and how we can deal with it. Now, this is the classical translation, and it can be taken to be fairly negative. A more modern translation, or one of the more modern translations, talks about human dissatisfaction with what's going on with your life, with the way you're dealing with things, and how it's dependent on how we cling to things, how we reject things, whether that's material or whether it's an idea. The possibility of understanding what is causing it and how we can deal with it through the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path itself, you can split into 3 different parts. Wisdom, or understanding what is going on. Then there's the ethical part of it, how you should behave, how you shouldn't behave. And lastly, there is the concentration part of it, and that's where the meditation comes in. Monks tend to have a few more rules, and the only one that I really want to focus on is the first one, to abstain from taking life. It basically means not to kill, yes, but in some cases it gets taken to mean that you have to be vegetarian. As one of the monks who visited at my last school in the States admitted, he ate meat on occasion. Gautama Buddha himself would have accepted meat if it had been given to him as an alms. Okay? So it doesn't have to mean that you have to be vegetarian. The other ones there speak more or less for themselves. So how did we get from Buddhism to mindfulness? Well, in the 60s and 70s, Buddhism came to the West through the people who had visited India and that region. And they took their learnings back to the West, and bit by bit that was developed into what you might call Western Buddhism. Subsequently, the mindfulness got taken out of the Buddhist context and put in a more secular context, which is what tends to be used in, for instance, mindfulness-based stress reduction. And that was developed back in the 80s and started off by Jon Kabat-Zinn and has been spread around quite a lot since. So, what does it mean to be mindful? Mindful, to be present with what you're doing, to focus on what's going on at that time. And in a different way, being in the here and now. Not distracted by things in the past that you cannot control anymore, nor by things in the future that you can't yet control. So the meditation comes in via the formal part, which can be sitting or standing or lying down. I tend not to do the lying down because I fall asleep. Informal meditation is the second part. This is just being mindful with what you're doing, which can be any of the ones on the screen there, but simple things like brushing your teeth, having a shower. Trust me, it's very hard to stay focused and mindful while you're brushing your teeth in the morning and trying to get ready for the day. It's a good exercise. So, can it help? Yes, it can. With practice, just like with any other practice, any other skill. Okay? It can help you to deal with stress. It can help you to deal with focus, with concentration. It can also help you simply to appreciate more what's going on right around you. But it's not just concentration. It is also about becoming more compassionate, kinder to that very environment that you're hopefully paying more attention to. Thank you.